Welcome back, everybody, to the ECC. Apologies for the delay. We had some technical issues in the background, but we're finally here. We are back for Series 2 of 3 on today. We have a Division 1 match. Again, Dagisbarnen against Stool Sample. Of course, I'm faded again, joined once more by Max Fish. Of course, we got a super exciting match for us here. What are your initial thoughts here, Max? What are we thinking?
I mean, we're now moving on to the other division. We had a match from from Conference 2. Now we are back in Conference 1 with Dagisbarnen versus the Stool Sample. Getting into the rosters really quickly. Dagisbarnen is a returning team from last season. They played Div 1 last season. They are comprised of Pizza, Otto, and Limpan as their main players. Against Stool Sample, signing up for the first time in ECC. They hail originally from our good partners over at Rocket Sundays, and they're comprised of Ginger Ninja, Clay, and Badders. We should have like a really solid Div 1 matchup on our hands. Both teams should be competing at a very high level. I hope that the last year was an indication of how good Div 1 can be, and I'm feeling that these two teams could make it even a bit better than the last match. My money is on Dagisbarnen with this one. I just think that having played against them as well, they are very difficult to play against. They force you to play perfect rotations, and if you don't do that, you're gonna get smacked.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think I'd have to go with you because honestly, I'm not too familiar with the Stool Sample side, even though they've got probably one of the best teams I've ever seen here at ACC. But yeah, Dagisbarnen, I see several of those players and I know that they can really do some big things. But I think we're just going to have to jump straight in. We're already a bit late, so we're just going to let the players go on their way and kick us off with game 2, or match 2, should I say, of the day. Of course, we're going to go ahead. Here they are, joining up onto the field, and let's see what these guys will be capable of doing. Of course, we did see a Division 1 match for us. It was a 3-1 victory, for the side of Donkey Punch, that's their name, against We Vicious. So now we're going to see what this match had to store us. Finally, we are getting started. Batter's already putting that into the corner, but this seems to be a back corner kickoff for the side of Stool Sample, as we are now going in. Ginger Ninja going to be getting this one into the center. Batter's now just going to leave that one for Clay, as he just puts it up the field. Limpan now able to decide, well, Pizza's going to come in with a booming clear onto the back wall, but Ginger Ninja's not going to have too much of a difficulty handling that one. Instead, we see Pizza again trying to get it out, but Ginger Ninja getting this one into the center. Again, Limpan going to be picking this one up as Clay is going to try and mark him here. Let's take quite a lot of the boost there. Maybe a one tactic, but at least makes it difficult for the Dagisbarnen side to get anything going. But we now see Otto trying to get something into the middle. Now Pizza going to come in for another center. We see two defenders on the backboard. Could be a bit difficult for the side of Stool Sample to do anything, but they do manage to get it out anyway as we close out this opening minute.
See a different start than we had last series, where both teams, there isn't like domination happening. Both teams seem very calm, very relaxed before the series starts, as there's a great play from Ginger Ninja, but Otto just rushing back just in time, and now Pizza gets to the ball in just in time as well before the attacker of the Stool Sample could finish the shot. And Clay with a bad miss. Limpan, can he get it in? The Batter saves it off the line. Ginger Ninja with the bad 50. Otto puts it through. And now this is the mistakes I was talking about. If you make them, Dagisbarnen is going to make you pay.
Yeah, indeed. That was some cluttered defense coming out from the side of Stool Sample, and that's not really the way you want to concede to the beginning, but we do know, you said it, Dagisbarnen, they will punish you on these mistakes if you make them. They force you to display pretty much your perfect defense, or at least good enough to keep them away and not scoring, as an infield pass comes from Pizza, but Batter's going to get it out once again. And so Batter's going to send it down the wing. Otto is ready and waiting for it. Now Limpan going to turn on this one, trying to get a touch, but he's blocked by Ginger Ninja that also blocks him. Now Otto tries to go low on the shot, but it will be well wide of the net. Pizza Now pinching it into the ceiling. Ginger Ninja clearing it out, but now Dagisbarnen going to try to take their time here. Now also gets a good follow-up on that one, forces Clay to get a touch, and maybe now the transition can come out as a double demo does come through. Lumpan going for the shot again. Clay now sending it back into Bowers. They're going to try to extend it down the field. Ginger Ninja diving in for it. He does force a 50-50, but it will not be enough as their Dagisbarnen do try to reset.
Yeah, and both teams, I really like the way they play. They're both very patient and not trying to give each other too much room on any of the attacks, but there's a double commit now for the first time, I believe, coming out of Dagisbarnen. And this could make them, they could pay dearly for that one. Batters bet to Ginger Ninja, who fakes the first. Another double commit, Otto, but Ginger Ninja is there with a backward shot. No, Otto yet again recovers for it. Both teams showing some incredible defensive work on the line. But it's uncharacteristic for me to see Dagisbarnen struggling so much with double commits like in this last minute, because they're usually known for very tight rotation, and that one very tight passing plays as well. Otto Limpan passes it, booms it mid to Pizza. No Stool sample defender can get to it, and that's 2-0 for the Dagisbarnen boys.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass from Lumpan into Pizza, and the speed on it was just unreal, and the Stool sample defense was just not ready for it. There's a huge gap in the defense that allowed them to slam it home, and now it puts it to 2-0 for the Dagisbarnen side, as Pizza now needs to get on to this Lumpan. He's got a bit of space to work with. All three players on the Stool sample side on the same end of the field, or same side of the field, should I say. They're also, let's chip it into the center for Pizza. He's forced to put it into the side wall. Now Ginger Ninja trying to get out. Limpan, he's a bit late to this challenge though, as it gives Clay a shot. Otto does make the save, as now he will look to make another center again. He decides to leave it for Pizza. He's got a better position to deal with it, as now Limpan, he's got a chance here to take it up the wall. What can he do with this? He looks like he's going for a solo play here, taking for an air dribble, tries for the 50. Ginger Ninja though will be wise to it, and now it is a counter attack here for the Stool sample side, but the ball is given a bit too much power, and Dagisbarnen now with a minute left will definitely have a good position to take game one in their favor.
Yeah, what I recognize out of Stool sample is their first man really often tries to go for the demos, even though he's out of boost or not really in a position to demos. Ginger Ninja is a bit awkward there in net. Pizza gets it to Otto, but there is an interception coming. Yeah, the first man, we saw it sometimes from Ginger Ninja actually, who just followed on his touches with the, and I don't get to speak because there's so many great saves going on. Again, Dagisbarnen in the form of Otto saving everything off the line. It's like the net is enchanted faded.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my god, okay, Butters just came out with that. You're just stealing words out of my head. My mouth. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But anyways, Butters with strange double tap, to say the least, off the post. You don't see many of them, but lovely finish from him. And I was going to mention about the Dagisbarnen defense. It didn't really matter in this sense, but yes, they are making some the saves they need to make. But I must say the saves don't have much power behind them, and that if sort of wise up to that, they could capitalize off of it if they just stay a bit further back and allows us to get a good run into the ball and make a good shot on target. But nevertheless, it is Dagisbarnen taking game one of the series. It got a little scary towards the end, but they do manage to hold on, and you can see the defensive effort Dagisbarnen had to make. They had less shots overall, but they are the ones managing to make the saves they need to make, and they are able to convert the less amount of chances they've been having this game.
Yeah, and especially with the Dagisbarnen defense, you pointed out the saves initially quite weak, not really well placed. But if they pick that up, I think they will be fine. But my initial point was that the first man of Stool sample is going for those demos, which is a good idea generally, but only if you have got boost. And most of the time, I see Ginger Ninja with 0 boost upfield, just trying to make something happen with a bump or a demo. And there you have to go back. You have to take the small pads, have to concede that position, your position, and go back into the rotation, because with 0 boost stranded upfield, you're pretty much dead weight. And especially against the quick and accurate counterattacks of Dagisbarnen, it will be even exemplified that you are out of place.
Yeah, indeed. I find it a bit weird. The first man always going for demos. It's a bit of an unorthodox play to go for that. Usually you want to be doing that on your rotation out when you're exiting the play. And we call those exit demos usually, and that's what really you want to be going for, not going straight for the demos. There's very little situations in which you want to do that, as the ball just stands completely still off the kickoff. You don't see that every day, as we are kicking off with game 2 here, as the ball goes straight towards the crossbar. It's actually redirected off of Pizza. What on earth was this play coming in from play, as he gets the first goal here for Stool Sample?
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if both players just missed the ball on the kickoff, or like the 50 just completely killed it. It looked a bit ghost touchy, but anyway, that goal just can't happen at this level. That's very uncharacteristic to see that goal, especially with all 3 defenders. 2 of them at least must be having boost to at least jump and challenge it, but no one was up to even try to make the backboard read. And then the ball was in anyway, but Pizza gets shot at and he just puts it in with a bit more power than it would have had normally. So very, very odd beginning to this game, but now Dagisbarnen in the form of Otto trying to make something happen here. Pizza, 0 boost in the midfield, didn't grab enough of those small pads to keep up the pressure here, and now Stool Sample can try to mount the first real pressure of game number 2.
Yeah, indeed, but it's Pizza trying to take out again. He will be challenged as also drops it to Limpan, but a high touch will not do much for him, as now Ginger Ninja trying to push it again. And he is going for those bumps. You can see it on Limpan, but it's the wrong player, not the one with the ball. You want to be getting it on the person who's actually having the control over it. And it does allow you to open up that space, as we are seeing them with some pressure. Pizza with a flick, but it's straight into Ginger Ninja again, as he does turn it once more, but he will manage to get it off that 50-50. As now Clay does have a bit of space to work with, but Limpan's quickly closing it, as it's banged down the field again. We're now seeing Batters and Ginger Ninja both going for the same ball. As a result, it will allow a turnover possession to Dagisbarnen, as now Pizza has an infield pass to Otto, but he's too close to the play. But now they're starting to get some pressure, as I must say, Stool Sample are starting to step it up a lot more. They're the ones that are able to get more of the attacking pressure, as now the ball finds its way into the Dagisbarnen half.
Yeah, this should have been a really easy clear for Otto, but good interception by Ginger Ninja here. But the main issue I have with Dagisbarnen's offense at this point is that the second man doesn't really know where he belongs, as there's a good demo coming out, and the shot from Clay is good to put Stool Sample 2-0 up. Great demo there from Ginger Ninja. He had the boost and he was in position to hunt for the one in net, and that was the correct play to make. But it's not wise to make those plays all the time.
Yeah, indeed. Very opportunistic, though, to find the demo, and it allowed them to open up a really good chance, which they did end up taking. And so, I must say, Stool Sample has been doing really well here. Dagisbarnen have been a bit more cluttered, you could say, in their defense. They're able to get that initial clear, sure, but they're not able to, really follow up on that at all. Because, as you say, the second man doesn't really know what he wants to be doing here. As we do see Otto now, he has a chance to clear it. He tries to get it to Limpan. He will get a touch on it, but will not be able to do much after all. As we now see Pizza coming in again, launching it into the corner. Clay does miss it. Now going in again is Pizza. He does get a touch, but he does miss it now. Otto leaves the open net, and Ginger Ninja will be taking that. And it's a 3-0 lead now for Stool Sample.
That's a really bad miss from Otto. As third man, he has been the one who scraped the ball off the line most of the times, but this time, with not really that much pressure on him, he just accidentally backflips and just gives Ginger Ninja the open net to walk the ball into. As there is, after the kickoff, another demo coming out from the Stool Sample side. Really, really aggressive play. Maybe that is the way they found to break Dagisbarnen down. Just to go for those bumps, to go for those demo plays. It can definitely work, especially when you're playing against the normally very well organized roster, who have to adapt on the fly. To have to adapt on the fly is can be very challenging from your normal play style. Let's see if it has worked in this game, but let's see if it works once the series continues.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and it's important that Dagisbarnen do that, because after that first game, they're now getting pretty much slaughtered at this rate. It's not that big. It's a 3-0 difference, but they've had really not much of a say in this game at all, as they are struggling to really string anything together. As another high shot coming through, it is above the bar. Otto clears it to the side, but here comes Ginger Ninja again, putting the pressure on. Pizza forced to clear it again. Otto now having some control, puts it back into his teammates, but I'm not sure if Putz is going to go for it, and Clay instantly capitalizes, gets a bomb, and maybe the shot, but not if Limpan has anything to say about it. As Limpan tries to take it out again, but Judge just cutting him off and puts the ball back into his own half. Pizza now with a chance, but the shot is too low, has no power on it, and it's a minute left. Still, Stool Sample have the lead and probably the game win at this rate.
Yeah, and they're playing it very smartly as well. They are going. I want to see the demo count at the end of the series from the replay group, because it seems like at least alone in this game they had like 10 demos. But they are playing it really, really smartly as well. Going for really well and judging the difficulty of some of the reads. In this case, it doesn't quite work finding the connection from Ginger Ninja. He had to go up for that one though. But they normally judge very well where they have to be and how they need to push up in order to capitalize the most of it. And that is the main difference, I feel like, between Dagisbarnen and Stool Sample in this game number 2. Where the second man from Dagisbarnen is usually a bit too hesitant and not really positioned in the correct spot. The second man from Stool Sample is just there where he needs to be. He is in the middle to receive those passes, as Otto is right now from Limpan. Do we see a last second comeback here, Faded?
Perhaps we do. I mean, there's time left for the clock, and you know what, Dagisbarnen are really starting to string together some good plays. That's a lovely infield from Pizza into Otto. Maybe they could bring it back. Let's see, as they do have 90 seconds, as I said. Maybe it could happen, and really it relies on how willing Dagisbarnen are to play aggressive, and they may as well do it. They need to cut out that hesitation right now, would be a good time. So that's a double commit coming out, but Otto has possession, looking to kick it off the corner, but Clay has it red, as now Limpan coming again. He's beat to the ball, as Pizza needs to come back and get to this. He is bumped out of the way again from Badders. That's really working out for him, as it will drop. Stool Sample hold on. And I must say, great effort from Dagisbarnen to at least try and make a comeback in that game and maybe bring it into an overtime. But I must say, still, Stool Sample looked like the much better team in that game, Marks.
Yeah, they looked really, really comfortable. It's almost like they used game 1 to judge, okay, how is Dagisbarnen playing? We never played them. We don't really know them. How do they play? How do they approach the match? What mentality do they have towards playing as a roster of 3 people? And they've downloaded all that information in the first game, and in the second game, they just decided to, okay, yeah, you play like this, cool. We got a solution for that one. And just bang, went full steam ahead, especially Clay and Ginger Ninja, with all those demos and bumps just really annoying the defense and taking men out at the crucial point and having better boost management to back themselves up as well. So now it's on the turn of Dagisbarnen. If Daddy said in the chat, he is their coach, of course. Hopefully he will use that minute to tell his players what to do, what to look out for. Because if he doesn't tell them the correct thing, then this might go out of hand really quickly. I'm waiting to see the response from Dagisbarnen now.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what they will respond with now, because, I mean, their game style overall in that game was very timid, to say the least, as an early shot from Badders does come out again, who didn't have much involvement in the last game, but was still doing a great job and had a lot of involvement in the team overall, as we are seeing Badders now up again, dropping into the middle. Clay going for that redirect. He does get it on target, but Pizza again having to make the save as a Limpan. Take it out once more. Badders up for it. A 50-50 coming out there as Otto sends it to the side one. Here comes Badders yet again with a demo. Had that shot going on net, that could have been huge, as Clay does miss that one. Now Badders has to play defense here, as he's got Pizza going for an air dribble, but he does send it above his own net. As our Clay going for another shot. Otto gets a touch there, but it does allow Badders to come in again. Limpan, great reads on the back wall. As our Clay tries to get another center, but now it's a Dagisbarnen counter attack, as they are looking for maybe a shot, but again, they're a bit too hesitant to go on for that one. And now it's back down into Dagisbarnen half with 1 minute gone. It's looking like a more back and forth game this time.
It's very back and forth, but I want to cast your mind back to the point where Badders was on defense 3-1 as Ginger Ninja actually passes it perfectly to Pizza. What a save from Badders on the line. That ball had like 130 kph for sure, and he made that save. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, casting our minds back to Badders being 1v3 in defense. One player he didn't see on his POV, so he didn't know where he was. Probably he was in his in his half, trying to hunt him down, but he stayed perfectly calm, perfectly measured, as he is right now, as he puts it in top bins. And that is what the difference is, where Dagisbarnen is a bit too hectic at times and getting bumped away. Batters and Stool Sample are just a bit more controlled and a bit more calm.
Yeah, that play was very, very well executed. It was a lovely touch from Ginger into Batters, and Clay with a huge bump on Pizza, and the man himself who was bumped, he is here for vengeance, getting himself another goal to tie it up straight away as Limpan, what a touch as the back hole that was. And so we were talking about that earlier play. There was great execution on the side of Stool Sample, but it is ripped away from them just like that.
Yeah, that's the very problematic thing of you're at the weakest when you feel the strongest. So, and that is very much what happened there. Just right after the kickoff, you're still on a high. Yes, you just broken down defense finally. You just scored, and then wham, it's all equalized. It doesn't matter. And now you've got to do it all again. But this goal is really, really good mentally for Dagisbarnen. They know they can keep it close as Clay now misses Pizza against the backboard. Ginger Ninja needs to be there as he is, and now they can go back, which is the third of Dagisbarnen. And Otto very far back. Again, a bit too timid and trying to be a bit too safe there when he didn't really need to. Yeah,
indeed. And, you know, I think there's a problem with a lot of players that we are seeing in this lobby is really hesitation in general, and it's not what you want here. You need to be decisive if you want to be winning these games, as we are seeing a lot of pressure on the Stool Sample side this time as Pizza diving across. So that's what I like to see, more decisive moves being made, as now Barrows has to drop it. Otto now coming in, but that touch isn't going to achieve much. And that plays out. Pizza very aggressive here as the last man, but he had Otto behind him to cover just in case he didn't miss that. There we have Barrows coming up, decides to go for the long shot, and also forced to make a save again. Clay now going for it. Pizza with good speed on that does beat him to the ball, as we see Otto now slowing the game down. What's he going to do with this? Tries to take it high again. Limpan now going to be chipping it high and trying to follow it up, but decided to bail out. Pizza now with another touch, but it will surely be the end of this play very shortly. It's also trying for another shot again. Limpan following it up once more, and now there's extended pressure from Dagisbarnen, not getting the accuracy just yet, but they're at least managing to keep Stool Sample in their own half at the moment.
Yeah, and defensive rotation is now a bit more decisive. You said it yourself, in Pizza just being a bit of a catalyst there to tell his players, come on, mate, we can't be sitting back all the time. They're just going to score on us however they want. And he's being that catalyst right now for Dagisbarnen to be a bit more aggressive. And the rotation sorted itself out with the first man being a bit more aggressive there. So maybe that is the way to come back into the series for Dagisbarnen. Just send the first man forward very aggressively, go for those hard reads, and then the second man be ready for everything, and the third man to cover. Maybe that could work.
Yeah, maybe it can. We will have to see if it does. We are 45 seconds left in this game. Potential overtime could come in, but who knows what could happen in the series. We've seen some crazy things already, as also they'll be putting it forward into Limpan, sends it to the side where Batters is waiting to capitalize. As now we're seeing Pizza going to come out here, forces a 50-50 with Batters, but it's currently Stool Sample on the attack here as Clay doesn't have good control over this. You'll have to try and lean for his teammates if you can, but Limpan very aggressive there, maybe too aggressive though. Maybe he should be the one baiting there, as the shot is saved by Pizza once again, or Ginger Ninja again, pinching it off the back wall. Otto, poor save there. It could be disastrous, but Clay not changing the trajectory on the ball at all. It just means an easy save for Otto to get, as Barrow is going for one more chance, but this may be overtime here. I think that's what Dagisbarnen want. They wanted to drop a Ginger Ninja, keeping it up. Can he do anything? No. Otto dunks it, and now it is our first overtime, or second overtime of the day, but our first in the series, and maybe it will go longer than the last one we had.
Maybe we can hope for overtime longer than 29 seconds this time around, but I feel like this is very much a thing. Overtime very much favors Dagisbarnen, because in overtime the opponent normally plays a bit more timid, because the pressure gets to you that it is only one goal deciding it all. And if Stool Sample try to go to Dagisbarnen's playground and play their game of Rocket League, I think Dagisbarnen is going to be very comfortable with that one, as there's a big commit coming up. Clay and Batters 2v1, but good 50 coming out from Limpan as the third man. And now no one really there. That's a really poor touch from Ginger Ninja. Clay needs to have the read. He does before flying Otto. The ball is still mid. Batters just fakes everybody, I suppose, as there's a bit of panic on the side of Stool Sample.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we were on Ginger and his POV for a little bit there, and you did see he was really jumpy. He was just going for everything. He wasn't really sure of what was going on, and you know, at the moment, Dagisbarnen definitely fell with the pressure. They very nearly scored just half a minute ago, and so you can tell the confidence is on their side. But we do now see Stool Sample breaking out. They do get that demo. Can he do anything though? Doesn't seem to be the case as Batters forced to back off, but his patience does pay off as he finds a great shot into the top bins, and it will put his team onto series point marks.
Going for that, Otto being on the backboard in a really good position actually to just jump off and just flip into it, but it just decided to just stay there. Breakdown of communication is the only thing I can say to that one, because in goal, I think it was Limpan thought, oh yeah, Otto, you've got that, yeah? And Otto was probably, oh yeah, Limpan, you got that, yeah? And they neither decided to go. It's not even the double commit going out, just neither going. Just waiting patiently, letting Batters do his thing. And his thing obviously was to score the final goal in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I didn't think that play would work out so well for Batters, but, you know, it got him the goal in the end. He was left uncontested, and it allowed him have a free shot, and it was a brilliant shot at that into the top shelf. So Stool Sample coming out huge in this game. You know, they do manage to bring it out in the end in overtime, and so they're in a very good position right now. I'm still convinced they're the better side here, but Dagisbarnen are fixing some of those issues. They're not having the you know, the hesitation they had in earlier games. As we're going to head into game 4, this is going to be huge for Dagisbarnen. They got a lot to prove in this game, because at the moment they are on the back foot. They've got 2 games to win to make this series a victory for them. So let's see how we manage it as we kick off here with game 4, as this ball being pushed straight into the Dagisbarnen half right away. And we do see Batters now going to try go for an infield pass. Clay onto the back wall, going to try force it down. It will be a down for Batters again. It's now Pizza. A good double out as our Limpan has himself a chance here. Takes it high, takes one defender out, and perhaps both, and allows Otto a free shot onto the net.
That's exactly what they need. Early goal to build some confidence. Limpan slowing it down, passing on the backboard, taking out Batters, and Clay with not really much else of a choice than to go for the squishy there, especially with this low boost amount that he had. So that's a really good play from Limpan, but dependent on the solo effort there to get them in front. It's not wrong, of course, but they need a second goal now quickly to just keep on building on their confidence and even try to keep Stool Sample out as much as possible, as Ginger Ninja sets up Batters, who misses. Ginger Ninja tries to go for the redirect, can't get it. Pizza, weak touch again into the corner. It's just prime balls for the side of Stool Sample that nearly make it in. Great bumps in the corner from the Stool Sample players, but now the ball is finally out of Dagisbarnen half, and they maybe can mount an attack, but Stool Sample already back on it.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell, like, you know, the confidence that Dagisbarnen initially had was definitely simmered down. There are clear communication issues, because we did see a double commit from, I think it was also in Pizza, one that should never be made. Someone should be saying, yeah, I got it, and it should be very clear, but both of them were just so unsure of who was going to go for that ball, and you really got to sort that out if you're Dagisbarnen. Otherwise, eventually Stool Sample will capitalize, as we see a demo and a bump. Batters with the open net, and just like that, Stool Sample backs their old ways with those demo plays.
Yeah, and Ginger Ninja, not only did he get the demo on the wall, no, he gets off the wall and gets the bump on Limpan to just completely clear him off the net and give Batters a free pass. It's always like, here, take it. You've got all the time in the world. I'm going to clear everybody out in your way out. And now there's a good kickoff. Can Otto get to it? No, he can't. And that is how you lose a lead in a game within 5 seconds. Really unfortunate. Limpan with too aggressive of a follow on the kickoff. Otto in the corner, rotating the wrong way, rotating forward rather than covering net. And that's what happens. Now Dagisbarnen have it all to do in game number 4.
Yeah, I'm actually, surprised but not surprised that this game's been turned around just like that. And it really came down to being too aggressively minded on the kickoff. But Dagisbarnen have a chance here. Limpan going for a demo, and it will work out for them as it leaves the top right open. Pizza will tie it up right off the kickoff again. And it came from that double commit there. Two players should not be going for that ball, and Clay was just left in, between a rock and a hard place, really. Not much he can really do to get out of that one.
No, he had to evade the demo, and he did so quite well, but with the jump, if the ball is not coming directly at you or in your very close vicinity, you're not making that save as a goalkeeper if you have to jump from a demo most of the time. So now it's a really good play from Limpan to go for that demo play, showing Stool that they can too go for those aggressive demo and bump plays, as Pizza comes from the backboard, tries to find some magic here, doesn't quite get the connection he needs. As good pass from Limpan onto Pizza here, but yeah, it's now very much an open visor kind of game. It turned from a very conservative series in the first game to very much open visor in game number 4 right now.
Yeah, definitely. And we like these kind of games where they're a lot more close and it's where both the teams are really, pretty much at full strength, but there's still a lot that can be done. Both these sides, as Limpan almost finds a dunk on Clay, but now it's Ginger to try to take it out. Pizza forced to 50-50 auto. A quick follow-up. Limpan trying for that demo once again. Could that cost him? Seemingly not, as also, again, just cutting in to keep it away, as now he's going for another pass. Pizza was ready for it, but the touch didn't come in, as now Limpan has to make another save. Clay with a high touch. Again, it's going to be so awkward for Pizza to get to. He will not manage it, but Otto is there to clean up for him. As Limpan has also to work with on the right side. He does force the ball down the field. Now going to try going again. You can see Otto. He's been so aggressive here. I don't think he's really rotated back into third position once in the last 30 seconds or so. But it's what they need to do. They need to keep Stool away from the defense if they can and shut down every attacking chance possible. And now they're coming out for one again, but Pizza isn't able to get past the strong defense of Stool. And now with 90 seconds to go, anything's possible at the moment. It's difficult to call who's going to come out on top here.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see that the more aggressive play of Dagisbarnen having an effect on Stool, who are almost now pathologically expecting one of the Dagisbarnen players to be pushing very aggressively, and we see a lot of double commits from them on defense as a result. That was pretty much the same that happened to Dagisbarnen earlier, where they almost expected one of their players to be bumped or to be demoed, and that led to a lot of double commits. So the reverse is true now as well for Stool, but that's a great bump, a great dunk. Ginger Ninja and Clay, just a perfect harmony of bump and dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Just messing up Limpan so much. He was the flash defender, and that bump really proved it, really worked wonders as Clay was able to get an easy dunk on him. And they're going with 51 seconds to go. It's now Dagisbarnen that have to tie it up again, and really, these last couple of minutes, they've not had many convincing chances, if at all. Now Clay going to be going up to this, but it's right back into Limpan. He can't do anything with it, though, not yet anyway, as onto the back where Clay had it red. Also now, trying to make a play here. Limpan is sitting like a duck there, just having to watch the ball being sailed over his head as the Ginger Ninja into the back wall. Pizza bring it down the field again. They need to string something together now, but this defense is still is proving to be really strong. Also now with the chip up, he needs to be balanced. He does do it, but a delve from Clay again could be crucial. It's a chance there for Limpan. Can he make it? He can't find contact, as now Limpan manages to just barely get it in. I am speechless by that. That was a complete and utter wreck of a play there. And Limpan with the little Marwin trap. That's all I can really say as well.
So into one word, we can't. That's a prime example of what in the back of the day we used to be called prospect panic. That was silver at best in the GC lobby, and you love to see it. From both, like the last touches on those goals were just backflips. I think all three last touches on the ball were just backflips from one of the Dagisbarnen players. As we now had overtime, and Clay nearly finishes that instantly, but he gets blocked at the point of impact. Now Otto needs to have a stronger touch than that one. Pizza sees Otto on the wall. That's a good shot. Clay with a weird touch, but it works out for him. And now again overtime. We've seen one already in the series. with Stool Sample being the victor of that one. Can Dagisbarnen clutch it back and go into game 5? That is what we try to find out here.
Yeah, and at the moment it's looking like, not really, I'm not convinced yet. Like, that one goal was just scrappy, and I don't think Dagisbarnen will be able to replicate that, especially against Stool Sample. And it looks like Stool Sample's on the attack, but Barrows was tripped up somehow there and unable to follow it up as they were seeing Clay. He's trying to take this one down the field. Limpan, good block there, but Pizza can turn on it and maybe make a play himself. Chips it into Otto, and he will slip it under the fence. And Dagisbarnen do clutch up in this game and will send us to game 5.
Yeah, game 5, and that's a great cut from Pizza there. Ginger Ninja and Badders being just on the wrong foot at the back, and they try to make it work. Ginger Ninja tries to cut in to get to the shot, but the shot is too well placed, and it finds the back of net. And now we go for game 5, and really difficult to separate the teams. Stool Sample, if they can make the demos and the bumps work, they are very much capable of beating Dagisbarnen. But Dagisbarnen has fought tooth and nails to get to that overtime, and to actually win it now must feel really good for them.
Yeah, indeed. You know, it was not the prettiest way to get back to the game, but they made it back, and that's what matters for Dagisbarnen. And you know, they did at least close the game out in a very nice fashion there. So this 5th game is going to be huge. There's not much to separate them, as you said. Of course, Dagisbarnen statistically having more of the pressure, but I'm not convinced. I think Stool Sample will still be able to step up to the plate. So it's our first game 5 on stream here, and our first stream of the season. I can't wait to see how this unfolds, because this series has had pretty much everything possible. It's been crazy, wild, whatever you want to call it, and we're kicking off again the next 5 minutes to determine our series winner, as Limpan already up for this. Batters with a touch into his own corner, but it gives Pizza a shooting chance, and it's Dagisbarnen continuing the momentum of the previous game with the opening goal.
Yeah, and Ginger Ninja being just very slow on the rotation back. He could have easily got to, but he made some weird D2s for boost pads that weren't really on his route, and thus he wasn't back in position in time to get to it. So I think that goal was very much avoidable, and it puts them on the back foot immediately in game 5, and that's obviously if you want to concede then early, because you have more time to make it right. But Badders tries to do so, doesn't quite find the back of the net there. But you don't want to go behind in a game 5. That's almost always a really difficult and tough position to be in, because suddenly your opponents will turn into Manuel Neuer, and not only one but 3 of them.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to be the case here. So Dagisbarnen, that first goal is going to be huge for them, especially when they've been struggling a lot, you know, in this series, seemingly mentality-wise. But that is what they need. They need that first goal to give themselves the confidence they need, as Clay putting it into the side. Well, he will find the double as well, as now Limpan will put it high. Barrows is up early for this, trying to go for a shot, but it will not be enough. Pizza will get it away, as now Pizza trying to keep control of it. Also will now take over. Pizza with a touch again. Barrows back into Ginger Ninja, has a shooting chance. He gets a demo 2. It will not matter. He will at least get that corner boost, and so will allow them to sustain a bit of pressure, but not ever miss like that happens. As also gets it past one infield to Pizza, but a little bit of a touch was found on it by one of the Stool Sample defenders, as now counter comes through. You see Otto coming in again just to take Limpan out of that awkward position, and with 2 minutes gone, Stool Sample now working their way into this game, but there's no defender there. Limpan though bangs it off the crossbar, and Otto's forced to make a very awkward touch. And surely they will be able to get out of this, though. That was so scary for both those teams in that situation. But Dagisbarnen keep the lead in their favor.
Yeah, and with time elapsing, you can see the Stool Samples players being more aggressive here, and Badders being caught in a very bad position. He was way too aggressive on that one. Could have easily stayed more to the back post to avoid that ball just going over him. That was unfortunately the wrong decision there, to just push for the front post, and then he just sort of stopped and didn't really go up the backboard. Very avoidable goal again, but that's what Dagisbarnen does. They make you pay for your mistakes, and that has been done to perfection this time around, and Badders will immediately make good on his earlier mistakes. after the double demo comes out there from Clay and into Otto, Pizza being called a bit too much forward and then struggles with the half flip, puts Ballas in a position to score.
Yeah, indeed. So Barrows already make up for his earlier mistake. Of course, if Gavash stream was here, he'd already be going, on a full-on rant about back post rotation, which was the clear mistake in the second goal. But Barrows will be able to get one back at least, punishing a slight overpush from the third man. As now it is half the game left, but still plenty of time for Stool to get back into it, as that is not the best save coming out from Otto, but Limpan will be able to bail him out. That's how Ginger going in again. Limpan has to make it clear, but it's a very weak touch, and it puts Pizza in an awful position. Puts it into the right post, and Barrows does find the equalizer here.
Yeah, that was... I don't really know. That was, again, I think, breakdown of communications. Pizza has to tell Limpan that you've got time, because he had the time. There was no one challenging him. He could have gone over the... using the backboard, go over the goal, take it all away from harm's way. But he just struggles to do that, passes it mid effectively to Ballas, who just says thank you very much, and just puts it in. And now we are all squared with 2 minutes left to go in this game number 5. Very much a throw from Dagisbarnen, but Pizza puts it back in for the lead.
Yeah, just like that, seemingly, as also just launches it off the corner wall, and you see Clay, which is not in position there to save it. All three were just rotating seemingly in, in a pack there, and it meant Clay wasn't in the position he needs to be to make that save. But Pizza, he found that gap, managed to bang it through, and it does put Dagisbarnen back in the lead. And maybe they could extend it to defenders out from Stool sample, as they're also gonna cut in, finds a touch over to Pizza, but Barrows cuts it out to prevent a potentially deadly opportunity there, as though Clay chips it high again. Limpan has an easy beat on Ginger Ninja, but he knew that. He decided to go back there, as I Pizza forced it into the box. Barrows now going to try to get it out, also cutting this one out, but he is demoed in the process, and surely this will be a Stool sample attack now. But Clay with a poor touch there, perhaps he was trying to find his teammate upfield, but with less than 90 seconds to go, Dagisbarnen still have that 1 goal lead, but Stool sample, they will not give up that easily. It's also puts it across the Limpan, but Barrows with another demo, and now they're trying to get something going on offense here.
Yeah, the demo, unfortunately, no effect there for after the demo, because Limpan spawned at the right place. But again, he is very awkward on the backboard. Ginger Ninja with a good push there to force a 50. Pizza now into the side, and now Stool are trying to make their bet in the Dagisbarnen half and trying to stay there for the entirety of the last minute. But they have to be wary of long clears like this one, because the more time elapses, the more aggressive they have to be, and the more those clears will be very, very dangerous for them.
Yeah, indeed. 30 seconds to go. A long clear coming out, and that is a crucial mistake being made from Pizza, as we see this long clear coming from Clay. This should have never gone in, but Pizza misread it ever so slightly, and that will be the equalizer here. And again, the most unlikely way possible. Does that affect Dagisbarnen too much? Does that affect Pizza in terms of mentality? We'll have to see, as we're having the final 30 seconds of regulation and perhaps overtime in game 5.
Yeah, that one definitely hurts, because he was so sure that he got it. He had like 20,000 spins on the way up, as Otto with a great dunk. It's not there, but it's still from there. Pizza is up. Can he make good of a mistake? No, he doesn't. He pinches it out. That's super unlucky from Pizza. He was so confident of that earlier save that he even spun around like 20 times on his way up, and now we have overtime in game number 5.
Yeah, I swear for Pizza, he's got to be kicking himself at this rate with all these chances. But now into game 5 overtime. I wouldn't want it any other way between these two teams, but it will end after 8 seconds. Otto finds an incredible angle on net, and we just see here Limpan, maybe not the touch he was initially going for, but it was perfect for Otto. He lodged it into the net, and Dagisbarnen, after quite a strange but yet incredible series, takes the victory here.
The good, the beautiful, the bad, and the ugly. I think we've seen everything in this one series, and I don't really know how to summarize it. I guess weird is the best approximation of that one because Dagisbarnen had the lead so many times, as did Stool Samples, and they just threw it away when the touches just weren't there at all. When just everything, the whiffs came in from especially Pizza and that last game, cracking a bit under the pressure and needing his teammates to bail him out somehow. Just an incredible series in every conceivable way, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we saw everything in that series. It was absolutely mental, is what I like to call it. But a game 5 overtime, I'd love to see that. Short-lived, but it ended in quite an incredible way. So it must be a heart-wrenching series for both those teams. The Dagisbarnen do get the victory here in week 1. So congratulations to those guys. But congratulations to the Stool Sample guys, obviously. They had a wonderful series as well. It's just a shame they weren't able to put it out in the end. And, I would hope to see these guys rematch perhaps in playoffs later on this season, because that would be great to see. But that has it for this series here. Of course, it was a long one. We're going to take a break. I think we need it and everyone else needs it. When we come back, we'll be having our third and final series in Div 1. And I'll remind you, it is Nameless Paradox and Rocket Course Saturn facing us. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. So do not go anywhere. We'll be back just shortly.